Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the fourth and final episode of my Rustic Makeover series. I have loved doing this series. It's been so much fun. We've transformed 3 spaces so far and they've all been incredible. But today we are in their master bedroom. So this master bedroom actually has pretty good function. There are a few spaces where I'm going to try to add a little bit of extra storage and functionality for them, but mostly we are going to brighten it up in here and just kind of give it a little bit of a facelift and just kind of make sure that we're polishing this room and making it really peaceful and calm for them. That is what I want to share and create for them. So I'm really excited to create this space for them. I don't really think they're going to be a part of this room at all. So it's going to be 100% surprise reveal at the very end. But we do have a ton to get done, of course, like we always do. First thing I want to do is actually paint this back wall, kind of like an off-white, just to really make that bed pop. Her husband actually built that bed. And again, I feel like my camera is doing an excellent job of making the lighting in here feel a lot brighter than it actually is. And so I think that white that we're going to add is going to make a big difference here. So the first thing we need to do is clear everything out of the room, everything off the walls, patch any wall holes, and then we're actually going to pull this bed away from the wall and get that wall painted.
I wanna hear you say
Time stops when we're alone. You got my love, don't let it go. Feels like we're paper thin, one step away from caving in. When you're out with all the wild roams and you're looking for a way back home, I'll be the light that only you can see.
So before we get too far into the video, I did want to remind you guys about the big giveaway that I have going on throughout this entire makeover series. We are going to be giving away $200 cash. This is international, so no matter where you live, you can definitely get entered into this one. And I'm keeping it super simple to be entered. All you have to do is make sure that you are subscribed to my channel because this is a subscriber giveaway. And then next, you just need to make sure that you leave a comment on all 4 of these makeover series videos. So I will have all 4 of them linked down below, along with all of the rest of the information on that giveaway. But I am just so thankful to be able to do these makeovers and share them with you guys, and I'm thankful that all of you guys are here. It just means the world to me. So this is just a small way for me to be able to give back to you guys and let you know how much I appreciate you.
Go
So once we got everything taken out of the bedroom, aside from their bed, we needed to, of course, pull the bed frame out away from the wall. And this thing was so heavy, like I tried to nudge it with Kyle and I really could not do a whole lot. So we actually had my friend's husband come into the room and just help Kyle push it out away from the wall. And then once we had that moved away, all that was really left before painting, it was just vacuuming the floor behind the bed and then also, of course, wiping down the baseboards.
Wish on every shooting star that you still come back to my heart. Can you see how we've come so far? Hope you still come back to my heart. Didn't mean to hurt you bad, only did those things so that I could make a little room for us. I wish on every shooting star that you still come back to my heart.
Another thing that I wanted to mention, if you did see the other episodes in this series, we have actually started using frog tape. Now this was the very first time that we have started to use frog tape because a lot of your guys' suggestions and a few of you guys have asked if it's worth it or what the difference is. And so the differences between the frog tape and the blue tape is, one, the frog tape is a little bit more pricey for sure, but the biggest reason that we have decided to continue using it is because it really does do so much better. Like hanging onto your baseboards and everything, it just tapes so well. Even if there's like a little bit of dust left behind, it has such a stronger grip. And then also probably the biggest thing is it does not let the paint bleed onto whatever area you're taping off. Usually we'll have to touch up like every area with the blue painter's tape, but with the green frog tape, we did not have to touch up a single area. And also I did want to share the paint that we are using. So this is my favorite paint currently, and it is the Behr Marquee from Home Depot. I just feel like it works so well, and you also only have to do one coat usually. Sometimes you can do a second, but typically you only need like one coat. And the color that I decided to use was an off-white, and it's called Cameo White. So you can just find that at your Home Depot if you like this color, but I loved it because it was a really nice bright white, but it was still pretty soft. It wasn't really stark or anything, and I just love how it all turned out. This tool that Kyle is using is called a Paint Edger Pro, and we just find it at our local hardware store, but it works really great because usually you don't have to tape off a lot of areas like the ceiling or anything. And then once he paints it on, he just does some circles around that line just to make it less harsh when I go back through with my roller.
We were driving on the freeway, our minds drifting another state, floating above all the planes. Oh, I was searching for you. I didn't know it'd be like that. You would notice me like that. When you fall right into it, when you sit to silence, crashing into the deep end, feeling fire in the daylight, keep you up all through the night, no control when you don't mind falling.
Alright, we got that back wall painted right there. You can pretty much see a good, like that's pretty close. It's still all lighter than it truly is, but it does make a big difference in here already. It just looks so much brighter, and I know it does feel bigger. We don't have any furniture in here yet, but that is next on our list. Kyle is grabbing the boxes from the garage that we've been storing them in, and we're just going to start building the dresser and the new nightstands.
Days, time with you has a halo. Nights are losing all of their taste, all of their taste. Way up here looking at you, never coming down, down. When you fall right into it, when you sit to silence, crashing into the deep end, feeling fire in the daylight, keep you up all through the night, no control when you don't mind falling.
So the dressers and nightstand set that I decided to go with was from Ikea. Of course, you guys know I love Ikea, but it's really cool this time because instead of doing just like the typical Ikea furniture, we started out with that, and then I ended up customizing these with a very, very cheap option, and you'll see in the end, but they end up looking so custom and just super neat because it really does not really look like Ikea furniture once you are all done with it. But I did end up going with white because I did want to brighten up the space, and I wanted to really kind of bring in darker accents into the room. The base of the room was starting out with a dark bed, and I love their bed, and of course they love their bed because her husband had built that for them. He's very, very talented. But because they did have their big wood bed, I really wanted to lighten up the space and make it feel a lot larger than it is by making sure that the other big pieces of furniture were light as well. So that's why I ended up opting for the white dresser and nightstands. But then later on you'll see I do add a lot of darker pieces, and that way it does kind of still add a lot of contrast and a lot of interest into the room while still making it feel really big, bright, and airy. Also, I did just want to mention, if you're unfamiliar with Ikea furniture, the ones that we decided to go with are the Hemnes brand, or Hemnes. I'm not 100% sure how to say all the names at Ikea, but that is the one that we decided to go for. And before getting these, I did look all around at different stores and online, and these were significantly less expensive than all the other ones that I had found. And I do love that they are still really, really great quality. Alright, Kyle is just going to finish up the drawers just so we can keep going with this whole project, because we still have a lot to get done. So I think I'm just going to start making the bed and kind of start going through everything. We actually didn't put the hardware on that it came with because I ordered 2 different sets, and we're going to kind of see like which style I think would match the room best. So I'm not sure if I'll do that now or kind of wait and see once we get a few things up and kind of see how everything's looking. But we are making progress. It's just slower going than we would have hoped. So once we finally got the nightstands and the dresser all built, I moved on to the bed, and Kyle was just actually finishing up some of the drawers. And then once I got their sheet set on, I started adding the new quilt, and this quilt was one that I searched high and low for, just kind of trying to figure out what I could find that would really add some great color into this room, but also keep things feeling really nice and bright. And my friend loves the mint color. It also is one that's not super feminine, so it's something that her husband could enjoy as well. And this one I could actually not find in stores, but I will link it down below. It comes in different colors, but I love this mint color, and this is actually the same style bedding that I have had on my bedding for like over a year. We finally changed ours out for something a little bit heavier over the holidays, but I think I'm going to end up going back to this or something really close to it when we move into our new house, because I just love all the texture on this soft quilt, and I could not recommend this one enough. The next thing I wanted to add into this bedroom was a little sitting area, because that was something my friend really was hoping for in this room, but I also knew they just needed a little bit more storage, and I kind of wanted to hit those needs all in one, and so I ended up getting them a bench, but also the bench does open up and give a lot of extra storage inside the bench. So I am going to be creating this little sitting area over here, and later on I'll actually kind of decorate around the bench. So right now it looks very, very bare, but later on it will kind of be like a whole mood over here. It will be like a whole little sitting area, and it will also add so much to the entire feel of this room. So if you remember when we first started out in this room, they actually had a pretty small TV in here. Definitely on this wall and in this space, it ended up looking really small and it just did not fit. And now that we've actually added in a larger dresser, I knew that this just would not end up looking good at all. And I asked if they still wanted their TV in their room, and they do. They said they use it all the time because they actually don't have a TV in their upstairs living room. And because we are actually moving out of our house in Utah and moving to Arizona, we had our TV in our bedroom that we just did not ever watch. And so we were not going to keep our TV anyway that we have in our bedroom. And so we decided to bring it down and bring our mount down. So we did not have to spend any money on this new TV, which was perfect. But then they were able to get a TV that would better suit them and better serve them. And so right here, that's just what we are starting to do now and get it mounted on the wall. Next, we are going to put up the curtains, and we just decided to do this the same way that we have done the last several rooms and the ones that we did in our farmhouse makeover series as well. I love this style, and in the other videos I actually talk in depth a little bit more about how we go about doing this, but basically you are just going to get a pipe, cut it down to size, and then you just get a strip of leather. I order mine off of Amazon, and then you just drill that right into the wall up against the ceiling, and then you can kind of feed your pipe right through that. I love it because I feel like it looks really high end, but it's also very budget friendly. All right, so we stepped out and took a pause in the makeover to eat dinner, and now we have lost the light officially. So we are not only working in a little bit harsher light, but we also are working against the clock because it's about 9 o'clock at night and these guys have to get into their room and get to bed, and we also have to do the reveal. So we have a lot to get done. We are just going to start pulling everything in and getting it put up on the wall, getting everything set up, and hopefully get this makeover done pretty quickly for them. See the clouds and let them be. All right, the next thing on my list was to get this big sign that my friend had made with her Cricut machine up on the wall. This is definitely going to be a focal piece in the bedroom, and I just love how everything turned out. She designed it herself, and I thought it turned out so great. This is kind of like a personal saying that's really special to them, so it was really cool to be able to add something very personal like this into their bedroom. And this was one of the first things that I knew immediately when going into her bedroom that I knew we wanted to put into this room. And so right away I asked her to go ahead and come up with a saying, and if she wouldn't mind making a sign for it. And of course, because she does this for a business, she had no problem with it at all. And I just loved how this turned out. Hear the songs in the breeze. Sing out your wins and trials like a melody. So here I am just starting to customize the drawers of the dresser and also the nightstands. This is the thing that I was talking about earlier when I was saying that you can customize Ikea pieces for very little money. I ended up buying these little drawer pulls. They were actually on sale for like $11 on Amazon, and so I picked them up. And all you do is just, instead of using the original hardware that comes in your Ikea furniture, I just added these little drawer pulls on, and I love how they look. They made everything look a little bit more rustic, a lot softer, and just very, very custom. I love this so much, and I could not be more happy with it. So I'm definitely planning to buy more of these and possibly use them in different parts of our own home. I just loved how much more custom everything looked just by adding these little drawer pulls. So as you know, this was the very last makeover that we were doing in this series, and every single night I think I've seen her husband sitting down at a chair that they had in here previously, and so I really wanted to give him a sitting space that was really inviting for him, but I also wanted to make sure that it was something that really fit the space well. The chair that they had here previously really took up so much space, it just did not really fit the room, and so I wanted to be able to offer him a space that he could sit at and enjoy kind of the evening, but also make it flow nicely in the room. And so I found this chair at Ross, and then I got this lamp also on sale at Target, and the combination together just made this little corner look so inviting. So So at this point, we really have all of the furniture kind of set up in the room. Really, all I'm doing is just adding little decor pieces here and there. And a lot of these things I actually had at my house already. I didn't really have to buy much new as far as decor goes in this room. And I love being able to do that because then you're able to find neutral items that you really love at a good price, or maybe you thrifted them or something. You can kind of hang on to them, and then whenever I go to do makeovers or redecorate my own home, I can kind of pull from those items, and I'm not having to spend a ton of money all up front. I can kind of spread that out throughout the year and just whenever I can find a good deal on something. So that is definitely a great tip if you're on a budget. Just make sure that you're kind of keeping your eye out anytime you can find a good sale, and then kind of be a little bit more neutral with your decor pieces and not be so specific and use something that would only work as one time a year or something that would only work in a certain room. Just kind of try to find things that are going to work anywhere and things that you really love, and it helps a lot with the budget doing it that way.
I've been waiting for somebody just like you, hoping, praying, run away to something new. My mistakes brought me to this place. I had to fall to get to you.
This was such a packed week. I cannot believe we actually finished. It's very late, like past 10 o'clock, but I'm about to bring them in and share with them their final room reveal of the series, and I can't wait to just kind of pass this on to them and just give them the most peaceful room. So let's go ahead and see the reaction.
Be gone. You stayed with me all along. You've been with me when I laugh or cry. Anywhere I stood, you were standing by. With me when I'm fine, with me when I'm not, with me when I'm giving everything I got. With me all along, not a cameo. Every scene, every episode, in every video. Skip no scenario, there anywhere we go. You've been with me all along, all along. Always on my side, you never gone. You've been with me all along, and you've been holding on for so long. Where the others would be gone, you stayed with me all along. You're still with me, and I hope you stay.
So this is how their master bedroom turned out. I could not love this room more. Through this makeover, we were able to give them so much more storage space. We were also able to really dial in on their style and just create a space that they really could relax in and just enjoy being in together in the evenings or throughout the day. Every time you walk into this room, I feel like it's just peaceful and calm. It's definitely become my favorite makeover of this series. I love all of the colors and all of the warm tones and all of the brightness that we've added into the space. And I'm so grateful to be able to give them more storage and just a lot more light, especially during the evening time, but also during the daytime as well. It's just become such a welcoming, peaceful room, and I could not love this space more. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I also hope you love the series as well. Now we do have another series kind of in the works right now, but if you guys ever have any makeover ideas, I would love to hear them in the comments below. And also, before you go, make sure you're subscribed down below, and you've also gotten yourself entered into that giveaway we have going on. I cannot tell you enough, but I am just so grateful that you're here today. Make sure you stay tuned for the big reveal here in just a second, and I hope you guys are having the most amazing day, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.
Always had a spot in the escapades, and a suitcase for the getaways. And all along you were always down, showed up and would hang around, singing loud, standing out in every crowd. And we're still here now. You've been with me all along, long, long, long.
Close your eyes. Okay, just...
Are we gonna do it awkward again?
Yeah. All right, open your eyes.
It looks so good.
That's insane.
I want to cry. It looks so good.
Someone in on this one.
I want to cry. It looks so good. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
That's awesome.
I'm so happy you guys love it. And your sign is perfect up
I know,
there.
it looks so good. I know I made it, but it looks so good up there. Never had like this nice of a bedroom.
Every time I've come in here, Dave has been sitting there.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, we should get him a chair.
I know, that's what I was like with the rocking chair. I'm like, but it's just so big, like I don't want it in here. But I know, Dave sits over there a lot. It's so much brighter in here too.
It's amazing how you can take IKEA furniture and like change stuff like that,
a couple things.
and it makes it look so much more like high-end.
Yeah.
You've been with me all along, long, long, long.